Welcome back. David Hertel in for Elias. Well, on End Transit this morning, it really is La STM vous souhaite la bienvenue à bord because we're going to speak about a new program at the STM. New safety ambassadors are going to be deployed throughout the metro system. So I'm very happy to have in our studios this morning the head of security for the STM, Jocelyn Latulippe. Jocelyn, thank you so much for coming in this morning.
Thanks for the invitation, David.
So, first, maybe tell me a bit about yourself. We were talking off air. You were in the SQ for many, many years before joining the STM.
Exactly. So I was a police officer for 28 years with the SQ and moved to Canadian National to be head of security for operation.
You guarded the trains.
Exactly, for 4 years. And now I am with the STM as the head of security since 2019.
Fascinating. So tell me about, first of all, before we get into the ambassador program, which is very interesting, tell me about these constables. Yeah, I see on your unit, you're in uniform right now, Constable Spécial, STM. We see them. I take the metro. We see them. They're in pairs. They walk, they take the metro. What is their role compared, say, to the police?
That's a good question. So since the pandemic, we realized that we were in a new complex social environment. So we decided to move forward and gave additional powers to our special constable. So to our inspector, who became a special constable. And therefore, they have now the special powers to be able to apply criminal code, for example. So following a signal, or let's say an information from a citizen about someone who would have committed a crime, for example, now they have the power to make the arrest instead of just saying, we're going to call the police. So that's a major difference in order to enhance and have a better, let's say, security within our metro system.
So you do have, your constables have powers that are similar to a police officer.
Exactly. So we can apply the criminal code articles, so all within the code. And in addition to that, we still enforce, for example, fair control and other rules, STM rules.
Okay, so tell me about the situation right now in terms of, I'm sure you have statistics, but I mean, what is the safety situation in the metro, on the buses? How would you qualify it?
The level of security is really good. I mean, for a major city as Montreal, I think we're in a really good position. Now, our main objective was to improve the sense of security of our customers following requests that we receive, but also realizing that in some other type of contact with our clients, that there's a need to improve sense of security. So therefore, we decided to add some new tools within our toolbox with safety ambassadors, also with social workers that Ville de Montreal EMIS group, that was added to our security offer. So we're now in a better position to answer different type of calls and to answer calls with the appropriate tools. If there's a need for more social approach, we have social worker. If there's a need just to escort or accompany customers within our metro, we have the safety ambassadors. And if there's a need to enforce the rules, enforce criminal code, you have the special constable, and police officers are there to perform criminal investigation, to answer calls related to criminal activities.
Okay.
So it's a whole bunch of services.
That's great. So let's drill down. Tell me about the Safety Ambassadors Program specifically. Who are these? Are these constables? Who are they?
So, no, they're not constable. They don't have any power. They do not, for example, they don't have the capacity to use physical force. But they are there to accompany customers throughout a network, to reassure our customers, and also to detect and signal incidents and, for example, any threat within our system. And finally, for major events or when there's a metro.
Say it in French.
Un arrêt de service.
Okay, when the service is stopped.
Exactly.
Yeah, an interruption.
Service interruption. Thank you, David. So when there's a service interruption, safety ambassadors can be there to guide people to our bus network.
Okay, so are these ambassadors going to be like just taking the metro like constables would? Will be able to see them, identify them easily?
Very good point. No, they have a totally different uniform.
Okay.
Their uniform is blue. It's flight blue, and it's written on their back, ambassadors de Sûreté, safety ambassadors. So they're clearly identified. But the other thing is that we ask them to go to people. We hire a people person.
Okay, they're going to be proactively seeking out people.
Exactly. That's the objective. We want them to be proactive, to go to customers, to ask if there's any question, if they can help them, either if they have physical issues, if they have, for example, issues with the metro tickets or any other needs of our customer. We're there. But also, they are there to reassure them in some areas, for example, on platforms. Sometimes people can be intimidated on platforms in the morning. So they have to be there to be with people.
Oh, very interesting. You mentioned the social service aspect also of the job and your work with social workers as well.
Exactly.
What does that say about most of the problems constables face in the metro? I mean, are you seeing mostly issues having to do with mental health or drug use? Is that principally what you're seeing on the ground?
Totally.
Or underground, if I
so underground. I mean, it's the new reality that we're faced with since the pandemic. We had a raise of such type of cases, but on the other side, we adapted. So what I mean is we implemented more, I would say, strategies to de-escalate and to take care of people in a new way, in a new approach where we have the support of social workers. So we implemented a three-level strategy. So the first level is composed of constable and social workers who identify people with, let's say, more important social or mental health issues. We address it. We call the second level of intervention, which is composed of EMIC. EMIC is a group composed of social workers, special constable, and police officer, where they take care of them. They open files and they manage files with where those people are in need to be taken care of by the system, by medical system, either for following drug abuse situation or from following mental health issues. So it's there are three layers of security where we address it in a new way.
How do you feel about, sometimes we see on social media, just people riding the metro and taking excerpts of interventions, and there have been some controversial stories about the way certain constables deal with these incidents, where you're seeing clearly somebody that doesn't have all his or her faculties. What's your reaction or your attitude towards these types of situations?
So first of all, we're really rigorous following any incident and any action taken by our special constable. So the metro environment is composed also with 2,000 cameras. So we have videos of all of intervention. But the other thing is our people are trained by the École nationale de police. They have to undergo a 13 weeks training. But after that, we train them every year and make sure that the de-escalation and the social socio-communautaire, the social approach is the main tool in their toolbox. That's the way to approach people. But sometimes they have to deal with really violent people, people that are in, let's say, in mental state where it's really tough to negotiate with them. And sometimes they also, because we have a lot of aggression towards our employees. The STM employees are aggressive and violated by sometimes people with mental health issues.
Yeah, employees are attacked.
So sometimes I can understand that it's not easy to look at some intervention, but I would say that sometimes it's really tough for our special constable as well from a social, mental,
and physical
levels.
All three levels.
Exactly.
Jocelyn, that's all the time I have. One, I want to thank you and your team for your service, because we don't realize how hard this is to do and to do well. And so congratulations on these new programs. I wish you the best for the implementation of this new Safety Ambassadors program.
Thank you,
Appreciate it.
David, for the invitation, and I'll be there for your customer if there's any questions.
Oh, I'll be there as well. I'll be taking the metro very soon. Thank you so much. Jocelyn Latulippe, Head of Security for the Societe de Transport de Montréal.